Star-Lord and Kingpin versus an island of genetically engineered dinosaurs? Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm totally on board for that. How could you fuck that up? Just in case, I'll go ahead and throw this up. Now you've been warned. So let's start with, I didn't hate this movie. This movie is a fun and enjoyable ride through a new generation's version of Jurassic Park. It was pretty cool. Seeing the kids in the theater reminded me that at the end of the day, that's what this movie is really about. Sparking that wonder and awe in a younger audience while still appealing to the older crowd as well. And in that respect, this movie does its job. But I have my problems with it. Now, this movie is, in fact, better than Jurassic Park 3. They did a great job of nailing the main ingredients to a Jurassic Park film. An island, dinosaurs, a theme park that exceeds imagination. But I feel like they failed to have the signature tone that the other two had. Yes, the other two. I hate Jurassic Park 3 just as much as the next guy, maybe even more than the next guy. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna keep letting Lost World get as much shit as it does. Sorry. I fucking love Lost World. What can I say? I love me some Ian Malcolm. The filmmakers also seem to favor CGI well over practical effects. This may be a real film snob kind of gripe, but the movie opens with 2 eggs hatching in front of camera, and it's just full CG. Full CG eggs, full CG dinosaur and everything.
That is one big pile of shit.
Immediately, I was like, they built that back in Jurassic Park 1. In like 1993, and it looks 10 times better. Look, CGI is a great tool for filmmakers, but most filmmakers don't use it as a tool. They use it as a crutch. It's like anytime I see Area 51 in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and all the crates are CGI when it does that pan back, and I'm just like, why the fuck didn't you just get a bunch of crates? And that happened a few times during Jurassic World. I'd be watching certain scenes and thinking, God, why didn't they just build that? It would have looked so much better if they had just constructed it practically. There is a great moment, however, with a downed Brachiosaurus. Oh, that's probably wrong. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible. It shadows the scene from the first movie where Ellie decides to stay with the Triceratops because it's gotten sick. It's been eating the plants. West Indian lilac, I believe is what it was.
Is this West Indian lilac?
It's one of those scenes where they actually are interacting with one of the physical dinosaurs, and it looks great. It looks awesome. It felt real for a moment. The real life props are there, but they're overshadowed by an overuse of CGI. Now, the main attraction is the dinosaurs. Let's talk about them real quick. And they look good. Although the raptors did look funny to me at times. I think it was just the way they were running, the way they animated their run cycles. Sometimes I was like, that looks a little goofy. But the random wild dinosaurs we see in like montage footage, they all look really good. But the way they move, the way they roar, the way they eat, they look like dinosaurs. That's the best thing I could say. Then there's the park. The park itself looks good, if not a bit small, although I'm pretty sure we're only seeing a fraction of the attractions, rhyme unintentional. You get to see some standard theme park rides like a lazy river, but through a sea of herbivores. The gyrosphere scene was actually really awesome. They get in these balls that basically allow them to control on a 360-degree axis where they go out in this field that's just full of wild dinosaurs. I do feel the central areas of the park were a tad bit too futuristic for me. It kind of took me out of the Jurassic Park vibe a little bit. When you walk inside, you're greeted with interactive holograms that represent the different dinosaurs that you can turn on or off on these floating displays circa Tony Stark's Avengers laboratory. But other than that, tiny little gripe about just there being holograms. It was really cool and almost magical to see John Hammond's vision finally come to fruition, like a living, breathing theme park. It feels like a Six Flags or a Disney World.
But John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists.
So let's ride to the opposite end of this food chain and start talking about our main character. And I would tell you who that person is if this movie knew who its main character was. In the first and third movie, it's clear that Dr. Alan Grant is the main character. It's his story, his struggle in dealing with the no funding on his dig. In Lost World, the main character is Ian Malcolm. But this movie has no main protagonist. So let's just talk about the characters as a whole. So immediately you meet the kids.
Grandpa!
Kids!
One is a hyperactive youngster who loves all things dinosaurs and science, and he just wants to learn, and he's all over the place. And the other is at the complete opposite end of that spectrum, just an angsty teenager who's, I don't know, he's just mad for no reason whatsoever at everything. He also has this girlfriend, but we see her for all of 10 seconds, and then the movie kind of forgets she exists. So those are the two pieces of adventure fodder who inevitably are going to get trapped and lost on this island. And their parents are sending them off to spend a vacation with their Aunt Claire, who works at Jurassic World. There we go. Meeting Claire, she is the cliche white rabbit type. Always busy. I'm late. Gotta go. I'm emotionally distant and I don't really have time for anything else. The anything else in this situation being the kids who are gonna get lost on this fucking island. Claire is by the book. She's running Jurassic World based on numbers alone. She's looking at fan ratings and percentages and ups and downs and charts. She doesn't care about the animals, and she kind of only sees them as theme park attractions. Nope, the job of animal lover falls on the shoulders of her boyfriend, not boyfriend, Chris Pratt, played by Chris Pratt. Okay. Owen, played by Chris Pratt. And he used to be in the Navy. And that's all you'll ever really know about him. Oh, and he can talk to velociraptors, which is pretty fucking cool.
Stand down. Hey! What did I just say? Back up.
Now, we can tell that Claire and Owen had some kind of a past at one point, but we never dive into it at all. Not unless you count cheeky comments about how neither of them got a second date. Are they gonna end up together? Oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, they're gonna fucking end up together. So Claire is sent to grab Owen, regretfully, against her better wishes. But that's a decision that's not up to her because this movie's John Hammond, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, Simon Masrani. He wants Star-Lord to come in and check out their newest creation, the Indominus Rex.
The Indominus Rex.
And I'll get to old Rexy in just a second, but let me go ahead and mention real quick. Simon Masrani is one of the most wasted characters in this entire movie. They bring him in and they give him this personality that's really humble and playful. He wants everyone in the park to be happy. He wants the animals to be happy. And then they completely change his character and, well, that warning was before this video. You were told. Now, the Indominus Rex is one of the newest creations at the Park Labs in an attempt to bring in more foot traffic and get more investors. It's been spliced together with a T-Rex and something classified. That's right. Raptors. At this point, the raptors have been given the Wolverine treatment by the Jurassic Park writers. They're always the main focus in a world full of other and more interesting creatures. I'm looking at you, X-Men franchise. For real though, Wolverine sucks. But the writers of Jurassic World aren't the only people who are a little raptor happy. Enter Pyle as Hotskins. He works for InGen, who are basically this franchise's umbrella corporation. And his evil plan is, get this, to weaponize the raptors to send them into battle zones for war. Oh yeah? Like 6 or 7 years ago when the idea of Jurassic Park 4 first sprung up, there was this guy who wrote a fan script. I'm talking 100+ pages called Jurassic Park 4, and it was one of the most well-crafted jokes I had ever seen. We're gonna take dinosaurs from this island, strap a bunch of bombs and lasers to them, and then we're gonna send them to Iraq and Afghanistan to fight the war on terror. It was hilarious. Here's what's not funny about that. That fake script is basically the real-life subplot to Jurassic World. Of course, Andy Dwyer objects to this, and we have our movies. Thus, Vincent D'Onofrio becomes the antagonist for the movie. And that's basically our main cast. So moving on. Owen checks out the Indominus Rex and he says that this dinosaur is dangerous and it should probably be put down. Of course, they disagree with him and tell him to go away, which begs the question, why the fuck did you ask for my help in the first place? And guess what? And that classic Jurassic Park chaos ensues. Now the action is nice, it's well paced, it builds a little bit of tension in some of the slower jungle scenes. Very reminiscent of
Clever girl.
We all remember that one. But when the action really takes off and begins, it's mostly a lot of machine gun fire and explosions and less dinosaurs being dinosaurs. Oh, and the Indominus Rex can use active camo to change his skin color to blend in with the trees. This will be used once and then never fucking talked about again. So in all of this chaos, you guys can imagine what goes down. The kids get lost in Jurassic Park. Owen and Claire go to find them, followed closely by InGen and their team of monster hunters. Some make it out, some people get chomped on. Oh, and that's one of the great things about this movie. When people get eaten in Jurassic World, they get fucking eaten. This one guy gets torn apart in the trees. Oh yeah, and while all of this is happening, the Indominus Rex is breaking out, soldiers are firing machine guns, people are rocket launching velociraptors. A velociraptor gets shot with a rocket launcher. All the patrons of the park have been asked to collectively join outside and wait for the next ferry to pick them up and evacuate them off the island. And while everyone is outside, they're immediately attacked. So the chaos continues until the island is completely evacuated as we follow our cast from danger back to safety in the central area of Jurassic World. And it's here that they find InGen packing up all the embryos out of the laboratory to create dinosaurs, getting on helicopters, and leaving the island. And of course, that leads into the final battle, the final conflict with the Indominus Rex.
The Indominus Rex.
And the fight itself is honestly pretty fucking, it's really fucking cool. It's actually a really cool final battle. And then the chaos subsided and we were taken into that calm moment before the explosions and the screaming.
Running and screaming.
When I first watched it, I left the theater thinking I was disappointed. Going back through all these problems that I've talked about now, the clunky characters, the CGI over practical effects, all of that stuff feels kind of trivial when I really think about what this movie feels like. And it feels like Colin, the director, was a huge fan of Jurassic Park. This feels like the best love letter a fan could have written to Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic World is a solid movie. It was fun, it was exciting, it might not have had the best dialogue or the best character development ever, but I saw what I went there to see. I saw dinosaurs chase people on an island for 2 hours. I'm not gonna call it perfect, but I would call Jurassic World absolutely a great sequel to Jurassic Park.
The Indominus Rex.
Well, that's what I saw and what I thought, but I'm really curious to know if you guys like Jurassic World, so let me know in the comments below. Also, we played video games as well, so maybe check out our best of live streams, or maybe check the description to watch us play live sometime. And don't forget to let us know if we're doing a good job by showing that like button some love. And for more videos in the future, be sure to click subscribe.